Alrighty. Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner Classics / Non-Classics. This is episode number 1612 and double number 1506. I have two Marvel trades, both of whom came out around the same period of time. Alright? First up it is Annihilators, which collects the entire 4-issue miniseries of this original one. Written by Dan Abbott and Annie Lenning. Artwork by Ton Egg Hunt, I believe it is. Though this book also contains the backup feature for Rock Raccoon and Groot. I have covered this one in a trade that collects this, along with the following backup feature, in a trade known as Rock Raccoon and Groot. Collect a lot of the other solo books they had prior to their team-up series. Yep. So, this one focuses on the new group, the Annihilators. I wouldn't necessarily say this is the first one, because it seems like they've operating for quite a while. The group itself is comprised of the Silver Surfer, Gladiator, Quasar, this of course is the original one, not the one Nick Spencer created, along with Ronan the Accuser, Beta Ray Bill, oh yeah, by the way, this group was formed by Cosmo the Space Dog, and we also have a female space knight named Ikeda, who, by the way, throughout this miniseries and the following one, she has infatuation with Quasar. Yes, seriously, a space knight has infatuation with Quasar. The main villain of this miniseries is a guy by the name of Dr. Drudd. Yes, this guy is a dire wraith. And he actually dies at the end of the miniseries. Now, the Annihilators were meant to be the replacement for the Guardians of the Galaxy. And Iconus basically just shows up randomly at the base of operations for Annihilators, which, by the way, the Annihilators base is nowhere, which is the same base used by the actual Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, this group was formed in the aftermath of the spam of the Guardians due to the deaths of Thanos, Star-Lord, the Richard Nova, and Drax. 4 people died, though it was later retconned that 3 of them got out of the Cancerverse, and that was Star-Lord, Drax, and Thanos. That was explained in the original Sentai, and Richard did eventually get out of the Cancerverse at the end of the Sean Ryan run for Nova, when Sam Alexander was basically having the helm. This came out, I think it was like 2011, I think it was 2010, I think it was, late 2010. It's not a miniseries people talk about per se, it's only just 4 issues. So, mostly I kind of basically joins the Annihilators, deal with dire wraiths. Yep, this is probably also the first dire wraiths to play a role in the Marvel Universe since the end of the Rom the Space Knight series. Now, I should point out though, several years after this miniseries came out, the dire wraiths showed up in IDW for some reason. I'm not sure why the heck that. I get the fact that IDW got the license to publish Rom comics, but they apparently got the dire wraiths for some reason, but not the name of Rom's original home planet. They changed the name in the IDW continuity, but they kept dire wraiths there. And they kind of changed Rom's name from Rom the Space Knight to Rom the Dire Killer. Still hitting a Space Knight and had the same design, mind you. Now, they also deal with in here mostly just dire wraith. That's mostly what this group deals with here. And it's a pretty fun mini-series for what it is. Yep. And they're basically, fights all of the members of the Annihilators at first, then joins them. In the case of Quasar, it is so obvious that she has things for Quasar. I mean, I'm sure any lady in the Marvel Universe would probably find Quasar to be very handsome. Me, I think she's a quite lovely woman. Oddly enough, she's the only woman in this entire team. Because you want to know why? All the members are guys. Yep. Fun miniseries. I give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Yep. But wait, there will be another one next video. Don't worry about that. Next up it is The Incredible Hulk by Jason Aaron, the collection. Yes, came at the same time period, but I think came out after that one. But during the course of this run that we had the start of the very next one. Now, these 15 issues came out in the period of 2011 to 2012. This was the run that came out for Incredible Hulk prior to its relaunch in 2012, when it was relaunched as, The Invincible Hulk by Mark Waid. Now, yes, with the cover, you can definitely see, yes, the Punisher does show up in here. Now, at the start of this book, here's the weird thing about this. Apparently, Bruce Banner and the Hulk have become separated again. As far as I can tell, this is the second and I believe the last that officially happened. So they're separated. Hulk is basically off with these skeleton people who want to live life peace. He's got a beard. And then he's recruited by someone by the name of... What is this person's name? By the way, she mentions her last name is Doom, which she also brings to the fact she's not related to Doctor Doom at all, despite having the same last name. By the way, Doctor Doom does show up in this run. Her name is Amanda Von Doom, no relation, and she's an American. So she recruits the Hulk to deal with Bruce Banner and his stuff related to some island he's on with his smoking hot ex-wife Betty Ross, who, by the way, in this miniseries does transform into the Red She-Hulk. Yep. And then about partway into this, now the habits where Hulk kind of absorbs Bruce Banner back into himself. So Bruce Banner is basically inside of the Hulk, not eaten by him, just absorbed by him. It's kind of weird and kind of gross. And then later on we see Red She-Hulk and Hulk fighting on the streets of some city. And then she proceeds to rip her clothes off. And it's very heavily implied that off panel, Red She-Hulk had sex with the Hulk. By the way, the Hulk is bald. Yes, Hulk and Bruce Banner are now bald in this miniseries, in this run. Yeah, for some reason they're bald. As far as I can tell for that, this was the first and only time that he went completely bald. He did shave his hair for a mohawk during the Gary Duggan run a few years after this, but bald, that was new. Oh, by the way, when Punch showed up, that was the issue done by the late Steve Dillon. Yeah, he did that particular one. Yes, this book had several artists on it. Oh boy. First, you have Mark Cho does the prelude for this book from Puritan number 7. Just material for me. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. So, my apologies, but I keep sneezing like crazy. Mostly what these covers are done, mostly done by excuse me. Mostly by Mark Silvestri. He does most of the covers of this book. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Not only this contains the entire 15-issue run, this book also had a .1 published. And you're thinking, wait, a .1? Yes. Marvel tried this experiment with .1s. And like every single book had one. Yes, this book had one too. But here's a question for you. Guess which book produced more than one? Amazing Spider-Man. It produced 3. 2 of whom were a backdoor pilot to an actual ongoing series. There was one for Venom. There was one for... It was like actually coming from Morbius. Yeah. I believe it was the one for Morbius actually led to his brief ongoing series a little later. Yep. So, after they kind of reunited, and of course Red She-Hulk herself, after apparently sleeping with the Hulk. By the way, the scene itself with her on top of the Hulk and her rip her clothes off. Yeah, it reminds me of a scene from Invincible. Yeah, the controversial issue 10, I believe it was 107, I believe it was, where the character Aaliyah, I think her name is, a woman who's like 10 years older than the main character, decides to rape the main character. It does haunt her for the rest of the series, mind you, but she gets over it and she basically becomes a more decent person. In the case of him, he does eventually forgive her for what she did. But here's the thing. This is not rape. This is basically Red She-Hulk basically sleeping with the Hulk, who also is Bruce Banner. Yeah. I'm like, Bruce, you lucky guy. You got this woman. You are married to this woman. And by the way, when she first showed up in this series, she wore a jungle bikini. Yes. Like, here you go. Betty Ross in a bikini. It is so good to see her like this. And here she is. Red She-Hulk bikini. This is so hot. And I'm like, Bruce, you lucky dog. Your wife is hot. And yet you rather do work and then do anything with your wife. Punisher, his involvement here was kind of weird. But the only reason why he's here because Steve Dillon drew an issue. We also have Kraven the Hunter in here. Yes, one of Kraven Hunter's handful of appearances he made between Grim Hunt and the Hunted storyline where he was not fighting the Amazing Spider-Man. Oh no, he wasn't. Because I believe this was either before or after his guest star appearance in the pages of Black Panther. Because aside from this book, I think like the first book he popped up in was Spider-Girl, the short-lived that short ongoing series, or from Arena when she was Spider-Girl, which lasted 8 issues. I think he appeared there first, because I think that's what that was basically picks him right after that appearance. They also have it where he pops up not only here, but also the pages of Black Panther for 2 issues. He pops up for 1 issue. Yes, 1 issue this whole run. We have Kraven Hunter fighting the Hulk, a character he has never fought before. As far as I can tell, he's never fought him. Aside from Spider-Man and the Hulk, you would not believe this. Okay, here's a fun fact for you. Who was the first superhero to fight Kraven the Hunter who was not Spider-Man? You want to know what the answer is? Iron Man. Yes, Iron Man has fought Kraven the Hunter. Yes, we do know Captain America fought Kraven. I do know Captain America fought Kraven the Hunter in the Ultimate Universe. But here's the thing. Kraven has never fought Captain America in the regular universe. And you're thinking, really? Never fought? Nope, never did. And prior to this very run, despite the fact these two were around the same period of time, both in the 60s, and both creations of the late Stan Lee, never met each other before this. Nope, never did. Fight each other for 1 issue, and I think after that he popped up Black Panther. I think at the Black Panther he popped up, I think it was Scarlet Spider. And then after he wrapped up that plot with that, I think he next popped up in other books after that. Yep. And then, of course, you're fighting Doctor Doom. And, of course, you have the whole radiation with Monster Island. But this book is just so fun. I love this. I give this book roughly a 9.5 out of 10. Just a damn good book. Oddly enough, this is one Hulk run that's never spoken of for some reason. And I'm sure that I know the Greg Pak run is basically, like, well, I can tell it's very much, like, very well respected. But this one, no, not really. Excuse me. Like, when it comes to Hulk, usually writers people think of Hulk, people think of Peter David, Greg Pak, of course, also the most recent wrapped up Al Ewing, Donny Coates, Mark Waid, but Jason Aaron, no. Excuse me. Yeah, but not much to say about these two trades. Both good. I give the Incredible Hulk by Jason Aaron, the complete collection, a 9.5 out of 10. It's a damn good book. And with reading this book here, like reviewing this one, I am effectively review-wise out of the year of 2012. No, seriously, I read right now from 2012 to present. Once I finally get done Greg Pak's second run for the book, I can probably say I got done from 2007 to present. Yep. Which, by the way, very next episode, we'll discuss this with Greg Pak. And also, more Annihilators. Yep, next video. Bye.